The town of Blackwood, Maine, had many stories. People whispered about disappearances in the forests. They spoke of strange lights drifting across the lake. But the oldest story was about the cemetery on Blackwood Hill. It sat on a lonely rise overlooking the town, surrounded by twisted oak trees older than anyone could remember. The gravestones leaned at strange angles, and a rusted iron fence circled the grounds like a cage. Everyone in town knew one rule. Never enter Blackwood Cemetery after midnight. No one could explain why. They simply knew. And those who broke the rule rarely spoke about what happened. Ethan Miller was 17 and didn't believe in ghost stories. When his friends challenged him to spend a night in the cemetery, he laughed. Ghosts aren't real. Then prove it, his friend Jake said. The challenge was simple. Walk into the cemetery at midnight. Stay there for 1 hour. Record everything on camera. Easy. At least, that's what Ethan thought. The night arrived cold and foggy. Clouds covered the moon. The cemetery looked like a dark island floating in a sea of mist. Jake dropped Ethan off at the gate. You sure about this? Ethan grinned. I'll see you in an hour. The old gate groaned as he pushed it open. The sound echoed through the darkness. Then silence returned. A heavy silence. The kind that made your ears ring. Ethan switched on his flashlight. Rows of gravestones stretched before him. Some were cracked. Others had sunk into the earth. The names had faded long ago. He started recording. Blackwood Cemetery. Midnight. No ghosts so far. His voice sounded unnaturally loud. The fog drifted between the graves like pale fingers. 10 minutes passed. Nothing happened. Ethan wandered deeper into the cemetery. Then he noticed something strange. The graves seemed newer. The stones looked cleaner. As if they weren't abandoned at all. He stopped beside a marble headstone. The inscription was clear. Sarah Wilson. Died 1887. Fresh flowers rested at its base. Ethan frowned. Who would place flowers here? The cemetery had been abandoned for decades. A faint sound interrupted his thoughts. A bell. Far away. Ding. 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 3 slow chimes. Then silence. Ethan looked around. There was no church nearby. No clock tower. Nothing. Yet the sound had been unmistakable. A bell ringing somewhere in the darkness. His flashlight flickered. Once. Twice. Then steadied. Ethan felt a sudden chill. Not the normal cold of the night. This felt different. Like standing inside a freezer. His breath appeared in white clouds. Then he heard footsteps. Crunch. 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 Somewhere behind him. Slow. Deliberate. He spun around. Nothing. Only fog. The footsteps stopped. The silence returned. Ethan forced a laugh. Very funny, Jake. No answer came. Another bell rang. Ding. This time it sounded closer. Much closer. Ethan began walking back toward the gate. At least, he thought he was. But after several minutes, he found himself standing before a massive stone mausoleum he had never seen before. The structure rose from the fog like a castle. Its black doors stood slightly open. Ethan frowned. He was sure this hadn't been here earlier. The cemetery wasn't large enough to hide a building this size. Yet there it was. Waiting. The bell rang again. From inside. Ding. Against his better judgment, Ethan stepped closer. The air grew colder with every step. The darkness inside seemed impossibly deep. As if the mausoleum contained more than empty space. As if it opened into something vast. Something endless. Then he saw movement. A figure stood inside. Tall, 20. Then a hand grabbed his ankle. Ethan crashed into the dirt. His phone flew away. The screen shattered. Darkness swallowed him. He looked back. A corpse had emerged halfway from the ground. Its skeletal hand gripped his leg. Its empty eye socket stared directly into him. Ethan kicked free and scrambled forward. The gate was right there. Just a few more feet. Then the bell rang one final time. Ding. The sound shook the entire cemetery. Every ghost vanished. Every corpse disappeared. The fog dissolved. The mausoleum was gone. Ethan stumbled through the gate and collapsed on the road. Moments later, Jake's car arrived. Ethan. Jake jumped out. What happened? Ethan looked back at the cemetery. Everything appeared normal. Quiet. Abandoned. Empty. No one will believe me, Ethan whispered. Jake helped him into the car. As they drove away, Ethan glanced through the rear window. For a split second, he saw a tall shadow standing among the graves. Watching. Waiting. The next morning, Ethan returned with the town sheriff. The mausoleum was nowhere to be found. There was no sign of ghosts. No footprints. Nothing. But near the center of the cemetery, they discovered a single gravestone hidden beneath weeds. A gravestone no one remembered seeing before. The sheriff brushed away the dirt. Ethan felt his stomach drop. Carved into the stone were words that looked brand new. Ethan Miller. Born 2009. The date beneath it was blank. As if something was waiting to fill it in. Ethan never entered Blackwood Cemetery again. Yet every year, on the same night, at exactly midnight, he hears a bell ringing somewhere outside his house. Ding. 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 And when he looks toward Blackwood Hill, he can see a tall shadow standing among the graves. Still watching. Still waiting. For the date on the stone to finally appear.